Ryan Smith, Pro Football Focus, joins us here on Big Board Sports, Giants analyst for Pro Football Focus, and there's a lot to analyze. I'll tell you that right now, Ryan. Good morning. Roger Weiland and Chris Honorado in Albany on ESPN Radio. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, there's a lot to analyze. It's been quite the start to the year for the Giants.
I won't let you go before I ask you about Penn State, but I'll wait to end that, because that would just be a very selfish way of doing things, considering I'm from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and went to school at
Who
Penn
has
State.
the better running back?
There
you go.
Come on.
I mean, come on. Is that really easy. A question there?
Barkley, he's got to be the Heisman guy this year. Got to be. All right. Look, how surprised are you with this 0-4 start by the Giants, and is their season over?
Well, I think people were really high coming into the year for the Giants. I wasn't sure that they'd be 12-4, 11-5 like last year. They won a lot of close games last year, but I will say, no one saw them being 0-4. It's interesting because there are some players that are playing well. I think Eli Manning has had a very good year so far. He's definitely not been an issue. I think last year they actually had to carry him a little bit. I think he got lucky with a lot of turnovers. So when we go back and we grade these players, if it was a dropped interception, we're still going to give him a downgrade for that. And if his receiver dropped the ball, we're still going to give him credit for that. So you've seen the wide receivers for the Giants have a few drop passes this year. And, Eli's stats might not look as good, but he's currently our 8th graded quarterback right now. He's not making the turnover-worthy plays that he was making last year.
And I thought he played pretty well against Tampa, to be honest with you. And I don't think it was so much the offense in that game as it was the defense giving up drives to Jameis Winston when the offense actually scored and put the Giants in front.
Yeah, for sure. I think in terms of defensively, there's been a lot of missed tackles. Darian Thompson, the safety, has missed 6 missed tackles, I believe. And the linebackers, just like usual for the Giants, they've still struggled. So, you see coverage busts like B.J. Goodson when O.J. Howard had that 50-yard touchdown where it was wide open. So it's things like that, breakdowns on the defense, missed tackles that I think are the biggest problems. I think in terms of run defense, it might not look like it was last year, but Damon Harrison is still playing like one of the best defensive interior players in the NFL. Him and Dalvin Tomlinson are both playing very well. I think Dalvin Tomlinson has certainly replaced Jonathan Hankins, even if the whole defensive performance might not look like it. Harrison was our 5th highest graded defensive interior player in the NFL this week. So he even got after the passer a little bit, which is not something that he had done in the past, but he's definitely not been an issue. I think Giants also haven't gotten a lot of help from their edge players, Olivier Vernon got hurt, but JPP, he has been invisible this year. So there's a lot that goes into it. But I think Damon Harrison and Dalvin Tomlinson are certainly not part of the problem right now.
Ryan Smith, Pro Football Focus. You can find him on Twitter at PFF_Smith. Ryan, I was looking at what you did tweet out here, Pro Football Focus, yesterday about the top offensive lines in terms of pass block efficiency. I fully believe in the eye test to a degree. From what you guys have analyzed in terms of this Giants offensive line, is it as bad as it looks?
It's certainly not great. I don't think anybody can make that argument. I will highlight Justin Pugh, though. He's moved to right tackle from his normal position at left guard. Played right tackle back when he was drafted his rookie year in 2013. And he steadily improved this year, and this past week he was the 9th highest graded right tackle. So he's definitely improved, and I think that's been a positive for the Giants. I'm not sure if you want to keep him there going forward, but in terms of the rest of the offensive line, there's not a whole lot. The eye test can tell you that. You don't need our grades to tell you that. But Justin Pugh, I do want to highlight because he has still played well at a new position, which is certainly not easy to do.
Brian, appreciate a few minutes on the G-Men. We'll see if they can't get a win against the 0-4 Chargers, although the stat that I have in front of me says Eli is 0-3 in head-to-head competition against Phillip Rivers.
Right.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it, Ryan. Thank you. Good job there.